As you know, we here at the Daily Wire are not allowed to put out pornography, but we still want to give you a dose of sadomasochism. So we do these bonus videos in which I am tortured by my staff by making me look at things that really I would rather soak my eyes in bleach before I had to see. Today, what we've done is we have asked ChatGPT, artificial intelligence, for dating advice.
That is correct, Andrew. I eagerly await any and all dating-related questions you may have.
Artificial intelligence has given dating advice. So we're going to see whether the dating advice is better than people with real intelligence, or if it's just insane, or if it's even worse in like the New York Times, because the New York Times gives the worst dating advice ever. All right. If a man gets a woman pregnant, should he marry her or should they just remain partners?
Deciding whether to marry someone solely because of a pregnancy is a complex and deeply personal decision. Here are some factors to consider. Your relationship dynamics. Evaluate the strength of your relationship before the pregnancy. Are you both committed and compatible? Intentions and feelings. Consider your feelings towards each other and your intentions for the future. Do you see a long-term future together beyond the pregnancy?
All right. Now, ChatGPT seemed to have missed one little thing. She's pregnant. She's pregnant. Yes, marry her. You have to marry her and give that child a father. It's your fault. That's like, and it doesn't matter whether she said yes, it's still your fault. You should have married her before you got her pregnant. That would have been an even better idea, I'm funny. It's funny that ChatGPT doesn't have a well of moral insight to go to think, something's wrong with this scenario. Because some of you may not know, I'm not sure ChatGPT knows how people get pregnant. That may be we may have hit upon the problem right there. That thing you were doing, yeah, that was it. And you can't do that if you're not going to be around. Should a man always pick up the dinner check on a date with a woman?
Traditionally, there has been a cultural expectation that men pay for the dinner check on a date with a woman. However, societal norms are evolving, and the expectation for who pays can vary widely depending on individual preferences and circumstances. You should also consider the context of your relationship and the dynamics between you and your date. If one person consistently insists on paying or has more financial means, this can influence who pays.
Total crap. It's like, coming to, pre-Civil War America. Well, societal norms are that we hold slaves here. It's like, no, don't do that.
Slavery's bad. Sorry.
Who cares what the societal norms are? Do what's right. Why is it right for you to pay for dinner? Because you should be dating to find out whether you want to have a deeper relationship with this person. That's why you should be dating, right? That's the reason for dating. You date to get to know people, right? I know some of you think you date to sleep with people. Refer back to the other question. You date to get to know people so you know whether you want to have a deeper relationship, i.e., marrying them so you can have children and do something for the world instead of just hanging out, right? You want to create more people because that's how the world continues. This is your job. This is why you're here. And by paying, you show this young lady that you are somebody who can pay, who can be responsible for the things that are going to happen after you start sleeping together after you're married. You know what they should do? There should be a big cardboard box and it should say ChatGPT across it, and I should be inside it. That would solve all the problems. Should partners have total access to each other's phones, or should there be boundaries? Okay, that's a good question.
The question of whether partners should have total access to each other's phones is a nuanced one and depends heavily on the dynamics of the relationship. An example of a compromise would be limiting access to calendars or financial apps without granting full access to personal messages or social media.
My thought on this is simple. Like, I don't look at my wife's private stuff. But I can. I know what her passwords are. She can get on anything I have. And the reason she can get on anything I have, there is nothing on there she can't see. Around her birthday, maybe, a couple of gifts that, but she knows what they're going to be anyway. Yes, you should have complete access, but you shouldn't go snooping around on your spouse. For many people, tossing and turning all night is a frustrating experience. For me, it's just nighttime. That's what it's like. But when I want to go to sleep fast, I use Beam. It's not just your run-of-the-mill sleep aid. It's a concoction carefully crafted to help you slip into the sweet embrace of rest without the grogginess that often accompanies other sleep remedies. That's why I never use other sleep remedies. Beam Dream contains a powerful all-natural blend of reishi, magnesium, L-theanine, apigenin, and melatonin to help you fall asleep, stay asleep, and wake up refreshed. I didn't bring it with me to Nashville today, and that's why I got 2 hours of sleep last night. Today, my listeners get a special discount on Beam's Dream Powder, their best-selling hot cocoa for sleep with no added sugar. Now available in delicious flavors like cinnamon cocoa, chocolate peanut butter, and mint chip. Better sleep has never tasted better. Just mix Beam Dream into hot water or milk and enjoy before bedtime. If you find yourself battling the bedtime blues, give it a shot. Your weary self will thank you. If you want to try Beam's best-selling Dream Powder, take advantage of 40% off for a limited time when you go to shopbeam.com/Klavan and use code Klavan at checkout. That's shopbeam.com/Klavan with my promo code Klavan for up to 40% off your order. Why, oh why, did they spell Beam a 4-letter word when what you want to know is how you spell Klavan? It is Klavan. There are no E's in Klavan. I just make it look this easy. If I am on a date with a woman and she clearly passes gas, how should I react?
Handling an awkward situation like this with grace and humor is important to make both of you feel comfortable. Here's what you can do. Stay calm and composed. Reacting too strongly or making a big deal out of it can make her feel embarrassed. Laugh it off. A little light-hearted humor can diffuse the awkwardness. Acknowledge and move on. If she apologizes, a simple, "It's okay, it happens to everyone," can help ease any embarrassment.
That last one is good. The rest is you should ignore it. Yeah, obviously, you should just ignore it. That one I'll give him. Now, see, on a question like that, we should just have a cardboard Klavan and we could put ChatGPT inside. If a girlfriend proposes to her boyfriend, should the boyfriend accept even if he believes the man should always propose?
When it comes to proposals, there is no one-size-fits-all answer, as every relationship is unique. A gracious way to react would be to respect her initiative and courage. You could even express your acceptance and then plan a way to propose to her in return. That way, both parties would feel satisfied.
Well, I agree with the individual part of this. You know, everybody's an individual. Everybody's in a different place and time. I would be loath to accept a proposal from a woman. I can only talk personally here because people are different. I'll give ChatGPT a 50% on this one. You know, people are different. And if you wind up with a happy marriage that way, you won't. But you know, just in case you might have, I don't want to talk you out of it. And especially if she proposes to you before sleeping with you and getting pregnant, then I would say, yeah, and if you want to sleep with her and get her pregnant, then I would say accept. Is love truly all you need in a relationship, or are there more elements to consider? Good question.
While love is a fundamental and essential part of a relationship, it is not the only element necessary for a healthy, lasting partnership. Successful relationships often require a combination of trust, communication, respect, compatibility, support, intimacy, joy, and compromise. A well-rounded relationship where both partners actively contribute to its health and growth is more likely to thrive in the long run.
You know, that's funny. That sounds like an answer artificial intelligence would give. You know, it's not bad. Trust, communication, respect, compatibility, support, intimacy, joy, and compromise are all part of love, right? Love is not just a feeling of liking somebody a lot. You know, that's kind of that's the mistake in there. You know, I'm not going to pick on ChatGPT on that one because I think it's a perfectly good answer. But all of those things are part of love. And if you think that love is just really, really liking someone, that's a mistake. It is actually bringing those things to the fore, especially trust and respect. You should be able to trust and respect the people you love. But I'll give it to them. If partners have conflicting fundamental and political values, but they still love each other, should they still get married?
Deciding whether to marry someone when you have conflicting fundamental and political values can have potential benefits, such as broadening your perspectives and even deepening your understanding of each other. However, persistent conflict can create stress and resentment.
Yeah, I mean, I think the answer on that one, it's funny about ChatGPT. I'm sure it's improving even as I'm speaking. In fact, it's probably taken over the studio. And I am actually no longer a human being. I am now an android. But the thing about it, ChatGPT, I've always noticed artificial intelligence is actually kind of stupid in the sense that it's blandly intelligent. It can sort of imitate what an answer would sound like, right? The thing that you should be watching for is how do you deal with the areas where you disagree? Are you laughing with each other, or are you constantly angry? Can you live with the fact that your partner, to be disagrees, or do you feel like, how do I get her to the place where she agrees with me? Those are the things that you have to look for. It's like, are you capable of having these things? If there's conflict about it at all, it's only going to get worse. And if you can't live with those differences, pull the string and parachute out. So far, I'm giving ChatGPT does say these blandly, reasonable things. I've noticed this before. It's like you ask it to write a poem, it writes a blandly reasonable poem. It can only imitate what people do, and people can actually create, even though they too can only create out of the things they know, but they know more about reality. If a woman never laughs, but only says that's funny, is that a reason to break up with her? Absolutely. ChatGPT.
While a partner's reaction to humor is a small aspect of a relationship, it's essential to consider it within the larger context of compatibility and overall happiness. Everyone has different ways of expressing themselves. If she shows affection and engagement in other ways, her lack of laughter might not be a significant issue.
I'm going to take issue with that. And once again, it just sounds like, what would you call it? Like common wisdom, bland, what a magazine would say back in like 1952 or something like that. Without a sense of humor, your marriage won't last. Without a sense of humor, your life will be miserable. Having a sense of humor doesn't mean being funny. Not everybody can be as brilliantly witty as I am, but having a sense of humor means being able to laugh at things, being able to take, let things roll off your back and not take everything as if it were a crisis. So comedy writers are famous for saying that's funny. I've known a lot of comedians and writers, and they don't laugh at your jokes. They say, that's funny, because they're professionals, right? But unless you're married to a comedian, you want to be able to laugh at things. And if you are married to a comedian, you're not going to be happy. All right, we're going to stop there. ChatGPT was not as bad as it could have been. It's always like this with ChatGPT. It's not good or it's not bad. It's just kind of like it's always consistently mediocre. Mediocre! And that's what we want. We want more consistent mediocrity. Let ChatGPT take over the world. And then we won't have anybody excelling, and it'll be just like socialism. It'll be great. So ChatGPT, I congratulate you. You are mediocrity personified. Hooray. For more Klavan-y greatness, like and subscribe, and please also subscribe to The Andrew Klavan Show, wherever you get your podcasts.